Good evening. Well, my journey to come to this place was very interesting, but it started actually from Colombia, the Lord guiding me to understand true education. I was struggling to know what was God's calling for my life, and I went to Las Delicias, and that was just amazing to realize that God had a very special calling to serve Him and to help others. And that really brought fulfillment to my life. So while I was there, my brother is like, Dr. Standish has come to Argentina and there's an invitation to go to Hartland College. I'm like, I don't want to go to United States. I just don't get along too well sometimes with the culture. It's too cold and it's too much comfort there. I want to be a missionary now, so I don't think that's God's will. But God has other plans sometimes than what we think, and He knows what we need. And so as I went back, and I want to apologize to Mr. Sheen and some of the ones that were writing to me, I was just praying and not answering. And just waiting, I was like, I don't want to go. But I went back home, and just the Lord was opening so many doors. Someone saying, I will provide for your ticket, and just everything. Oh, someone will help you with your first terms, with the tuition. And I was like, Lord, I have not even asked. And how is all of this happening? So then I said, well, Lord, help me not to be closed. If this is your will, I pray that you will continue opening doors and give me peace about it as well. So then the Lord just worked everything out, and I came knowing that God was leading, not really knowing what to expect, and not really wanting it if I had to choose it, but thankful that God had a plan. And I came here, and I can say now that I'm so thankful I came, and God knows when He tells you something, He knows what you need. Even though if you don't understand, He has a wonderful plan. And so being here at Hartland, one of my greatest fears was the language. My first language is Spanish. I was like, how will I write? How will I, take the classes? And I was just so scared. But let me tell you something, especially to the students that are from other countries, and you may be struggling with the language. God helps. God is faithful. And while I was in the classes, I was understanding my writing. I was like, I hope nobody tries to read my notes because only I can understand them. It was not too good. But the Lord helped me with my EFL teacher and all the help that was provided here to grow and really grasp everything. And little by little realize that God was so faithful and true. And something that really kept me through all my experience here was the first thing, to know that God brought me here. And I always say this time over and over again. If you know God brought you here, and you know that He's leading you till the end, even though at the beginning I thought it was only for a year because of the financial support, then God provided for us to be MTFs, and so it was possible to stay for the whole experience here. I was like, Lord, please don't let them accept our MTF, because if you know that I cannot go through all the classes, through all the requirements, please don't let it. And if not, it's because you know I can make it till the end. And right now I can praise God because He has helped me so much. And sometimes as students, you get your classes, you're overloaded, and you have your test. You're like, I cannot make it. This class is just too much, and you need to pray. That's what I would say, because sometimes I would remember Mrs. Hernandez. She was really strict with her classes and with the test, and I remember sometimes I didn't feel ready at all because of time. I was like, I need to study more. And God always answers those prayers, or bringing things to my remembrance from what I put into my study, or just changing the schedule for the exam. And I was like, Lord, you're so wonderful because you're here with us all the way. As long as we do our part, God does the rest. Sometimes everything may not go perfect. Sometimes you may fail a test. But God will help you if you do your best. He will be there with you. And that gave me the strength. And as well, sometimes when things got hard and situations accumulate, and maybe your work, your studies, just many things sometimes piled up, turn to Jesus. And another part of our theme is found in Hebrews 12, verse 2, that says, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. That's a key thing, to look to Jesus. Don't look at yourself and how can I do this? Don't look to others and what do they think? Look to Jesus, because he says he's the author and finisher of our faith. If he's starting a work in our lives, he will complete it until the end. And I just have to say that, I have different friends here at Hartland that support it, but the best friend that always was with me when I was crying and praying has been Jesus. He's the one that has really given me the strength to go through everything and the love for things I didn't like as much. Like when I came, and I'm just going to be sincere, but maybe Miss Clear doesn't, or Maria Harris doesn't know this, but I came and the first assignment was to work in housekeeping the whole time. And I like cleaning. I like to see things clean, but not necessarily every day that be my job. I was like, Lord, now I need for you to give me love for this, that I will do it, not just do it good, but do it with love and joy. And I was praying each time before I went to work, Lord, give me love for this. I want to work loving what I'm doing. And let me tell you, God gives you the love for it. Even if you didn't want something or you would have not choose that, it's something that God knows that you need it. And when you do it with love, I was amazed at what God was doing, because going and cleaning, I would be so excited. And I would just try to find other things to do. And it was just, I loved it. I would go every day to work. And something else, your workstation, just think it as if it's your own thing. Don't just think, okay, this workstation is what I'm assigned to and I just have to do it and when it's time to go. And no, just put it like, I took the lifestyle center as my lifestyle center, basically like, okay, this is my home. I need to clean it. I need to help. What else should be done? And that gives you more like creativity and more love for what you're doing. So that's a very key thing I learned being here, that if you put the love into what you're doing, it would be much easier. And I actually stay in the lifestyle center for all my experience here. I never had another workstation. And it was a blessing. Sometimes can get hard, tough, but everything works together for good. And God knows the things he permits in your life. And so as a student, those were some of the lessons I learned. Something else, the importance of sharing. When I came here my first term, I was so into, okay, I need to focus on my classes because I don't understand the language, I'm going to fail, and I don't want to fail. So I was just in the room all the time, and a lot of the classes were about writing these papers about your understanding of true education and of agriculture, and I was like, so much writing in English, and I was just all the time in the computer writing papers, and my roommate, Nastasia, she was like, are you writing a book? I'm like, no, I'm trying to accomplish these classes. And she's like, I'm going to get your book when you finish it. And I didn't know where the attic was my first term, my whole first term. I didn't know some of the girls more than their faces. It was pretty bad. And so one day, one of the girls told me, Debbie, not only you need to focus on just your studies, there's around education. Balancing it, and it's important to find that balance, but balancing your social time with your study time with God, everything has to be balanced. If not, you won't get the whole benefit, because when you share with others, you get advice, you get counsel, it helps you grow in other areas that maybe you yourself don't realize. So that helped me to strive for that balance, and learning to have that balance, managing of the schedule. It's a tough thing, but God can help you. And I guess we need to keep on learning through life, because there's always things that come upon us and we need to learn to say no. That's a big thing as well. Not put so much on your plate that then you don't do anything well. Say, what is God asking me to do? What are the things I need to do, and do them the best you can. And So something else in closing that I forgot to share last night, but I just want to wrap it up, is that the education here is valuable. If you put your heart into it, your mind into it, and ask God to teach you the lessons, don't see it just as task. See it as a growing experience. And when trials come, it's easy to see it as a mountain and as a terrible thing happening to you. But if you see it, this trial will help me get stronger. This trial will help me to grow. Lord, what are the lessons you want to teach me? He will show you, and it will be turning into a blessing. And everything you learn here is going to be very important when you move on. And when I went to UT Pines, actually they sent a message for Hartland, and I forgot to say it yesterday. They really thank for the training that is provided here at Hartland College. They were like, please go back and tell them we want more students. We need more Hartland students here in UT Pines. And they're like, we don't know what they're doing there, but they're doing something right. They've had a previous student, Lauren Simmons, and then myself. And they're like, we need to go and visit because there's something that you're doing there. Hardworking people and just dedicated and giving it all. So pray that God will give you that spirit. Doors will open, and many doors will open. Then you'll have to start praying, Lord, where do you want me to be? But just hold on to Jesus, because as you press forward, if you press with your strength, you'll fail. If you press with the strength of others, they'll fail. But if you press with the strength of Jesus and looking to him, he'll never fail you. God bless.